Hello, and I'm cutting your head off. Scooch down.
Why is the shortest person on the other side?
It's a
Anyway,
good question.
yeah, well, there you go.
Welcome to August 11th and half of Josh's head here. We had a bunch of stuff that happened all weekend.
Yeah, busy week this weekend.
Busy week, lots of magic stuff. So I
Yeah.
guess without further ado, let's get right into magic.
Yeah,
I
so
didn't even put the names up because there was three of them. So we're just gonna switch right over here to let's test your memory. What do you have?
there was two standard events and a modern event.
Yeah.
So which one are we talking about first?
Um, Arena Championship 9.
Cool. So this one is a little different. So this is a 37 player event for this one. It's basically a invite only event off of Arena. So it means that it's kind of similar to things like when you see it like the Pro Tour, where it's a very small group of players. They all tend to know each other and they all tend to kind of know what each other are playing. And a lot of it's the same deck kind of workshopped a bunch. So you see a lot of consistency in these lists because functionally you sort of have a crew that sort of decides this is the best thing in the format to do, and they play that, or they play a list that beats what they think is the best thing in the format.
So arena obviously meaning online and
Yeah,
standard.
yep. So still best of three. It was a bracket sort of format to it. This was the first place list. As you will probably have heard by this point, there's a lot of Izzet Cauldrons, a lot of EVs running around, which is reasonable, especially in this event, because this event was a small, sort of like more pro-y sort of event, and those tend to be, they tend to be very safe decks that people pick for that. You don't see a whole lot of people swinging for the fences. A lot of it is sort of like, what is the best list? I will play the best list, play to kind of beat the mirror. I don't love that style of approach to it because I think it gets you two middle of the pack results in a small field, but it's safe and no one's going to beat you up for playing the thing that is the better thing in the format. And this list is, if you're not familiar with it, is basically playing blue-red tempo with a control element to it and a combo portion. So this list has the combo element to it, where it's got the exhaust, goblin, so you can sort of go off and make infinite amounts of stuff functionally. It's not infinite, but it's pretty darn close, and you can just punch for a lot of damage. While playing a very reasonable sort of fear of missing out, Mako, Professor's Eidetic Memory sort of style list, and relying on Vivi to kind of like bring it home. So it's a solid list. It's really quite good. There's talks of banning stuff for it. I don't think there'll be any meaningful things until November when the next ban announcement is, because like there's only two spotlights between now and then, and one is in like a couple of weeks in Florida. So whatever, like people be a little sore about it. Honestly, I've been playing against a lot on Arena and Ranked. I've been playing Blue Black Mill Control. And having zero issue with this deck. I have more problems with the versions that are playing Storm Chaser Talent because the turn one talent I have a hard time keeping up with. Tapping out for a Vivi, just kill it. Or they play a Cauldron. Okay, I'll just destroy it. Get up to this point where you can just play a sweeper because they have kind of eschewed all the counter magic elements to it, so they can't really fight me anymore.
With the pro stuff too, if they're all kind of testing the same stuff and picking the same stuff, it doesn't feel like it's a good representation of what like a big kind of room would be. So I don't think you make bans on
And
what the
I
pros are
think you
playing.
see that if we go to the next one. So the next one is was a more.
Let's see if I put them in order.
I'll see.
I did.
So the next one was an open invite event. This one was a couple hundred plus. I think it was like 200 or 300. It's something where like this was like a more open tournament, and you saw a fair bit of is it Cauldron list. But this is what won it, which is a blue black list, which plays really well into that sort of game plan. A lot of cheap interaction, a lot of cheap removal. Lots of ways to gain advantage and just sort of blow it out. Because the challenge with the VV list is it needs a couple of turns to set up, where it's not really doing anything. Where maybe it plays a Mako turn one, turn two it plays a Fear of Missing Out. But like those are also like small-ish plays that you're kind of conceding the first part of the game. And a reactive deck like Blue Black Tempo can have spot removal, play stuff with flash at the end of the turn, things that just force the V deck to not only have to answer what the Blue Black deck is doing, but also forces it to spend resources to do so. So this one won it. I'm not super surprised. It seems like it's well positioned into it. Null is a great card to be able to bring in against Soul Cauldron. It hits Soul Cauldron, it hits Pross, it hits Fear of Missing Out. It's kind of almost like a consigned to memory against the Vivi deck. Modern where versus where it's like one mana answer most of the problems you have outside of a Vivi, and just kind of carry on with your life. So no, I think a list like this feels well positioned. It's nice to see that this kind of survived rotation because it lost a fair few things. Didn't lose as much as other stuff, but it is not quite as good as it was before. Losing Fairy Mastermind is a bit of a hit because that card is just insane value. and a lot of the spot removal package is a little less good. So Shoot the Sheriff is not as good as Go for the Throat and sort of things like that. But all in all, it seems like it's made the transition, which is nice to see. So that was standard. And again, there was a bunch of Vivi decks in this list, but this is the one that
Yeah, but this
finished
is the one
first.
that finished first, which I think means that there's an answer to it. So
One part of it is like you're playing at like a more competitive setting and a more competitive space. Having if on my end, I like knowing that there's an established deck that everybody and their mother wants to
yeah,
play, because it means that if I go into that matchup and have a really positive matchup into that, I just go, well, cool, you can play the best deck in the room, but if I'm
yeah,
playing a deck that has a
that
really good or
answers
beats
you.
answers you,
Hmm.
I feel really good if 60% of my matchups is going to be this deck where I'm like 80%, 70% to win it.
Yeah,
That's really good, and I'll take that pretty much every day.
yeah.
Mm.
All right, last Magic event is also an online one. It is an MTGO
Yeah,
Modern
this was like 100. This
Showcase.
was like 450 people. It was a great turnout for him. So this is they labeled Grixis Reanimator because that's what it is. It's basically seeing the standard like unearthed package we've seen before, with coupled with Faithless Looting is back in the format. It is really good. In case you've never played against it before, the card is kind of nuts, especially in these Reanimator style lists. The only thing I just find of note with this is that it's it is very hard. Normally when I play Reanimator, I like the lock package to this sort of stuff where you're reanimating a fatty that breaks the board state in some way. So like an Iono or something kind of like in that, or Iona. It is something in that range where you're looking to put something in which just like stops your opponent from playing. This package has picked Archon of Cruelty as its go-to fatty to reanimate, which again, super reasonable, super fair. I just like more unfair things when I bring them back, but that's just a preference. But clearly it did really well. I just, if I'm gonna
No,
reanimate a 7
I
drop, I
know
want it to just
I
win
know
the
how you
game.
play. We discussed your play strategy
I don't
earlier
like
this
playing
week.
reasonable games. I want
Yeah,
to break my opponent, and that's
yeah,
just kind of this is a really fun list. I mean, you've got four Thoughtseize, lots of ways to like get your Arborn Oculus online. A lot of ways to interact for Fatal Push. I love a deck that plays the Thought Scour. I am such a sucker for that card. I still play it in my Blue Red Storm list because the card's real good. Functionally, if there's ways to make it kind of read that it just draws 3 for 1, and historically that's been a good thing in Magic.
yeah. That's fun.
Yeah, but no, like it. Love to see it. Nothing really new from the new sets that I can see coming in here for it. Like nothing super stands out. So largely unchanged. Which again, there wasn't anything a whole lot in Edge of Eternities that sort of made me sort of go, "Oh yeah, this is going to be format defining or
For
changing
modern,
for modern." But
yeah,
yeah, no,
yeah,
some neat list.
that's
Nice,
fair.
always nice to see. Nice to see big events come back. I'm excited.
Yeah. All right, next on our docket
Sure.
is Pokemon. So the Smart Set Series 4. All right, let's test your knowledge on this one.
So this was a 680 some odd person event. This was an online tournament, so it's best of one until the finals, which are best 2 out of 3. Pretty typical for how it works for Pokemon.
Hmm.
As far as it goes, a lot of Dragapult in the top. There is a fair number of them. This is the list that won it. It's back on like the Dusknoir package. The thing that's kind of interesting for this, and the thing that kind of picked up is Hilda is in this list, which is kind of a neat one. It lets you go get, I believe I know it's a special energy, and then it's something else. I forget what the other thing it gets is, but part of what makes it good here is the ability to go get your luminous energy, go get, but most importantly, your Neo upper energy is kind of like your big one that you're looking for, because that allows you as your ace spec of choice to punctually have a turn where you just punch with a Dragapult. I like this list a lot. It seems pretty good. I like playing into this list a lot because it's fine for my Ceruledge list. I don't mind it.
It's fair.
And it's something where, as like with most Dragapult lists, it's trying to play from behind and just trying to boss around and spread damage, take turns where it's just doing a bunch of damage all in in little chunks, and then just kind of having a turn where it takes 4 prizes, 5 prizes to sort of like just like round out the race. Hilda is a nice option because it lets you sort of get up to your Dragapult attack faster. It means that rather than sort of you'll note the trick with Dragapult typically is that unless you're playing like a Crispin, you have to do 2 manual attaches to make your Dragapult active and punch, which a lot of times you just don't have the time for that. So to be able to go up to the Neo upper energy to just do it right away, you lose access to things like Unfair Stamp potentially or Prime Catcher, but the Neo upper is just so powerful in this list that it's really worth kind of including. And Hilda's to go get it seems like a really strong plan. Another one that I saw that wasn't in this list was the Crustle list was kind of cute.
Is that the
Uh,
second place one?
what's that?
That's not. Nope, that's not the second
No,
place one.
that's
Never
the
mind.
third place one. But the
Okay.
second place one was basically
Looks like
more
a
Dragon
similar
Pulse.
thing.
Similar thing, except it's going in with the Charizard route.
The Charizard
Have
route,
like a
yeah.
secondary attacker, so it does like a 2-2 split, where functionally that the Charizard is good because Charizard can hit you for really ridiculous amounts of damage as it gets like later in the game. The downside with it is that the because so some matches when you're playing Dragon Ball, there's just some numbers you just can't hit or you can't hit conveniently.
Yeah, I assume
So
Charizard's one of those numbers.
Charizard is one of those
Yeah.
numbers.
Charizard's a number that people mostly
Charizard
can't
is
hit
like a big
conveniently.
chunky
Yeah.
boy. And also, more importantly, like Grimmsnarl is one of those ones where, like, it's a tough one where it can just go up and do a whole bunch of damage.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, this is sort of like playing the Charizard version of it. So pretty standard list. Leaning heavy on Arven. Still one Hilda here, which is a nice include to see. And while it's not getting your upper energy, it is getting luminous energy, which is super relevant to get for your monkey dories and things like that, just to kind of have them be turned on. Because this list is playing no darkness type energy, so it's really just relying on that luminous
That's
energy
fair. Yeah.
attachment.
Okay.
But yeah, no, so it's a fun list. The Arven package gives you a lot of toolboxy things. Being able to Arven for an unfair stamp, after you get knocked out, to sort of like keep the pressure up is really good, and
Yeah.
sees a lot of play.
Yeah. Sweet.
Yeah,
Next,
sure.
or you said that there was
Oh,
another
there's a
list that you were
cute little
excited
list
about.
that I like. There's the Crustle list. It's basically it's like a stage 1 Pokemon that like can't be damaged by EXs is kind of its thing. It seemed really cute. There's a
Oh,
list of
you were
like
talking
top
about this
like
when we walked to
I
breakfast.
don't know
Yeah.
if it top eighted. I think it was like top 16. It was definitely in the first like 12 results that I
Not
saw.
being able to be touched by EXs is nice though.
It's really
That's yeah.
cute,
Yeah.
and it also has like like the other deck that's kind of in the format is Ethan's Typhlosion, like is another list, and it has a line that's the oh my gosh, it's like the Dachshund, like the little like
Oh, I
pastry
just like
dog or
it
whatever.
already just because it's the
Yeah.
pastry dog. Yeah.
And like that one also he plays it for the other beer or the other batch, which is that one, which the Dachshund says can't be dealt damage by like fire type Pokemon and can't be
Oh,
burned. So it's just like, cool.
nice.
I'm just gonna it's a wall deck. Like you're just gonna establish a dude to go. I don't think you can kill this. The fun part of the Crustle deck is that because it's playing just like basic Pokemon and one prizers, it can sort of a lot of times you'll have an answer to the the wall deck where your opponent goes, oh cool, I can answer one of your walls, and usually when you're playing the wall deck you have to like establish only like the one of them play and sort of hope that they can never knock it out, and if they can
Hmm.
knock it out the game's kind of over,
Yeah.
or the game's over because you lose because you bench out. But with the Crustle list, because you're just playing one prizers, you can just literally,
No.
you can make your opponent have to do it 6 times and just go, yeah, maybe you can answer the first one. I don't think you can get the second one.
Yeah. Oh, that's fun. That's
It's
fun.
cute. I like it.
All right, moving on to Lorcana. So we had a big kind of set champs, and but based on the title for it, a 50K, a very prize heavy set champs
Yeah,
too.
no,
So
it was a big one, which was
yeah,
cool.
so we had a big one for Lorcana. This brings us to the end of the set champs weekends, and
Oh, was it
then
last weekend for
this
the
is the
champs?
last weekend
Oh,
for set
okay.
champs.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we go into I guess a couple weeks of waiting for the new set, and then we have rotations. So
Yeah.
this was
Get,
one of the last ones I guess before rotation.
get them in while you can.
Yeah.
But yeah, this list looks sweet. So this is the list to finish first. It's back on items.
Back on items while you can. So, because, well, I mean, so
I think it
the
depends
queen
what.
leaves,
Yeah,
Tamatoa isn't as useful. The big Tamatoa leaves.
you're not living in hope they're gonna reprint
No,
Popsicle, so you don't
I
think
mean,
that's likely.
Popsicle might. I don't know. It's one drop that draws a card. That's right. But like Maurice's Workshop, Vitalisphere, Dime, Maui's Fish Hook, and
So
the
workshop
Fishbone
gone?
Quill. I think
I
actually
think
Workshop might be
I think
sticking around,
workshop's
but
fine.
still,
But
that's so many items that are leaving. So get
I
this
mean,
one
you're
in while
also
you
losing
can.
like Maui
Sisu,
too,
Maui,
right?
yeah.
CC is a big hit
Be
here.
prepared has not been confirmed
It's
yet,
gotta come
so
back. Like
I
there's
would
no
be
way.
shocked, but yeah. So this is the fun items list. I've always liked the item style list. It's just kind of yeah. Whenever I watch somebody play it, it's very much just sit there and play all of your items so you can do something big.
Oh, you just dimed it to like 20. It's great.
Dime for 20, yeah.
Yeah, what the nice thing about these sort of lists is that you don't have to put you playing at every point in the game. You can just wait till the late game because your ability to play catch up is really strong
Yeah,
here.
yeah,
So that's a big part of it.
the big thing about blue when I was kind of doing my research for different ink stuff is that blue's got those they called them gotcha cards, but like the cards that were like it might say quest for one or gains one lore, but it's got the ability to gain a lot more than that with like the
Yeah.
Ariel, the Bell, Dime, Tamatoa.
Yeah, so many things you can do with
So
it.
many things you can do with it that all of a sudden you can just get a whole bunch of lore. And this is kind of the idea there is that yeah, Tamatoa was a fun item one at the beginning, and it's kind of nice to see him do something at the end of his rotation.
Yeah. He's not get to playing with Flaversham before.
Yeah, yeah,
I
you're
heard
this
it
is
was crap.
Flaversham free, so yeah, that's fair.
That is dumb.
Yep.
Okay.
So that was the first place one. The second place one is
Hey, it's
discard.
birds. It's
I'm
your
gonna be
favorite. Birds.
so happy
Still
to see
birds.
Birds and Prince John rotate. Goodbye,
Do you want
both of
bird?
them. Goodbye, both of them.
Do oh, but birds make me happy.
Goodbye, Birds. So yeah, this looks like kind of a mishmash as far as this Emerald Steel list go. I like the muses in it.
It's
I
more
a
defensive, right?
little bit
Like
more defensive. Yeah,
it's more based around like just kind of having more board control
yeah,
and having the backup beasts and the muses to like really control the game feels solid. It feels like this is trying to beat those early rush aggro decks by
yeah,
just like having so much ability to gun them down.
yeah.
I think it would have trouble into the Ruby Sapphire list because like so
And
much of
it
its stuff is twos.
and the fact that it came in second says that it did. But yeah, they and I like again in this going back to stuff that is rotating or potentially rotating because we haven't seen the full set
Yeah.
list yet. Bringing back the beast is kind of like something to have a final. Let's go with.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I don't disagree. I think like this list looks like what you expect to see from an Emerald Steel list.
Hmm.
Very consistent, very punchy. Just a lot of
Yeah.
stuff that with a good opening
Whoops.
hand, really fixes the problems that you're looking
Should
at.
have locked that.
Yeah, you should have, but you
All right. Well, we're gonna move on with my scroll issue there to Warhammer now. So we had two from Warhammer. One Josh says he picked just for the name. I'm gonna linger on the screen for a second because the
Yeah,
name
okay. So
also
there were
had an
three
emoji.
events. There was one really big one, which is the Lone Star one, and the Iowag Moose Spectacular. Oh, sorry, Moose Tacular.
Moose-tacular, yeah.
2025. It had a sweet name, and I just
And
wanted to
an
include that on
emoji in the
there.
name, so
So
that's
I put the
great.
emoji there, but like they did have a lot of exclamation points and like stuff for it.
No, they had the emoji in one of these screens.
It was an email link
Is
I
the
sent
email
you.
link
I
okay?
added
Okay.
it
All right. Well,
because
I
I
like
thought it
that.
was cute.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about that one
We're
real
gonna talk
quick
about that one
because
first.
this
They
is the
have
smaller
a
one.
picture included.
Yes, it's a guy or it's a moose with a battle axe.
Yeah.
Looks like a beast of
This is
chaos.
my favorite Warhammer tournament we've ever talked about. So if the people who have run and organized this see this, points to you for the name and the picture.
Yeah, so it's a 63 player event. So I believe that means they were doing 6 rounds, 5 rounds, 6 rounds. Yeah, and we had an undefeated Astra Militarum taking down Death Guard, which is kind of cool to see. Because we will go to the next list and see that there is Death Guard everywhere. But yeah, I do like the fact that
Walk 100 yards and stand
stand
still
still for
for
me.
me. I like it when people put in
Combined
that.
arms detachment,
I like it when
very
people
cute.
put in fun stuff there. Yeah.
Well, yeah, looks like a standard sort of list for Astra Militarum. Pew pews the army and lots of dudes. Looks like he has a fair bit of tanks. 3 Leman Rush Vanquishers, 2 Rogodorans, 2 Scout Sentinels, 3 Artillery Rough Riders, Death Corps Recruits, Cadians, Rogodoran Commanders. So just more armor and stuff. Gaunt's Ghost. It's always cute to see those ones. I like seeing them around. But yeah, so like I mean, let's congrats to Jacob. I do like his
Yeah.
I do like his notes. That's for
Flavor
sure.
all around. This tournament wins to me. We don't even have to talk about the big one. The
I
big one
mean,
doesn't matter
we
as much unless
probably
it's cute. We
should.
don't have to talk about the big one.
We should probably talk about this one because
Death Guard, Death Guard.
so this one was 300 plus players. A lot of undefeateds at that level. So they did do 6 rounds. So they did have like a winner. But it's notable to note that there were 5 players who were 6-0 at this event. So like all of these lists are perfectly viable and reasonable. Even the ones who would be like on the draw. There's a guy with a tie.
Hmm.
Like all of these
Some
lists.
great points looking at that. Like
Yeah.
the guy
Uh,
gave me first, real good points on that.
yeah. So like we've got two sort of the two Death Guard lists are basically both Mortarian's Anvil, and then there's a Virulent Vectorum down here. The Chaos Space Marine player was playing Dark Pack Zealots, which is kind of cool. That's a list I'd want to look a little more at because I don't know it as much, and I probably have all the pieces for it. Necron's putting a show, which is nice to see. But yeah, what do we got here? Oh my gosh, your mouse
Is my
sucks.
mouse acting up?
Your mouse
What do you want
sucks.
me to look at?
I want to look at this list.
This one?
Yeah, that one. The
Okay.
one that won the thingy. And I do like
I
his.
like his this little yeah. Okay, I'm glad we're talking about this
Yeah.
one.
So Death
Death
Guard
Guard
06
006. Here we
here we
go,
go.
and he's the one who came in
With
first.
6-0
Good job for
with
you, and good job
with
for the
some
little
really
yeah.
healthy points totals. Like
Yeah.
this is not an eked
Yeah,
out
this
win.
was this yeah, this
I think he
was
dropped maybe like 30 to 40 points over the 6 rounds,
yeah.
like total.
Yeah, good for you.
And it's a pretty standard list of what you'd expect to see. Lord of Contagions, Lord of Virulences, Deathshot Terminators, all of it's just really good, really effective. The ability to pick a guy and make him plagued is really helpful. Makes sure shooting a lot more consistent. You know, he's got kind of all the stuff you'd expect to
I'll
see
let you
for.
scroll. Okay, I was
Yeah,
scrolling too slow. Okay.
yeah, you already.
I can't find the Goldilocks zone for scrolling for
Yeah,
Warhammer.
I understand that. I mean, to be fair, none of them were found yet. You have found zero Goldilocks.
I'm just gonna drink my water.
Yeah,
You keep
so,
going.
sounds like a good plan. Yeah, so basically it's the same sort of song and dance with Death Guard. They're really good. They're really durable. They are undercosted for their points. I assume at some point they will probably not get a rules change. Because again, their army rule is not bad. It's really quite good. The challenge is that their points are just too low for a lot of their stuff. And that's just kind of the recurring theme of, you know, their stuff is really efficient, pumps out a lot of damage, and especially with their auras, they do a lot of kind of work with it. So as far as your mouse is all sorts
Yeah,
of
my
jacked
mouse is
up.
all my yeah. And now so that's about a 15-year-old mouse. I'm wondering if I need to get a new one.
We'll figure it out afterwards.
I assume the second place one is what we're
Yeah.
looking at.
And again, this is sort of a very similar list. And I do like, again, his notes. This list is not fun to play.
Yeah.
So, like, the Death Guard players know what's up. Like,
If
you know,
if
they
you
know what's
if
coming.
you play Warhammer, put the fun stuff in your list there because it just yeah, it's fun to read them.
Yeah, Lord of Contagion, Lord of
No
Contagion,
emojis,
just
but
tally. Take a tally, man. Cut some points to some other stuff. Bloat drones, plague haulers, blade haulers, plague burst crawlers, plague burst
this
crawlers,
is
crawler
not fun
sorters.
to play. I like
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
it is
It's
just
very
it is what it is.
self-aware.
It's very self-aware. But yeah, but no, it's a Death Guard world. There's some nice stuff running around, but
Death
none of it
Guard
did
world.
well at this one. Oh my gosh, yes, I
Yeah.
absolutely hate your mouse.
Yeah. Well, we're going to the mall later. I don't.
This mouse is
Yeah,
dead.
I'm gonna get a new mouse. Yeah. Are we looking at this one next?
Nah, it's all
Okay.
good. But yeah, so that was the Warhammer events of the weekend. There was some fun stuff to it. Yeah, no, it was a bunch of events. Nice to sort of see. I wish I could have got them played a little more in these, but none of them were like stuff I could actually get to. So
No, and summer's super busy. Oh my goodness.
oh yeah, super
Yep.
busy. But yeah,
Yep.
no, it was a good week. We've got a spotlight series to look forward to later this month for Magic. Nothing for Pokemon coming up, but as far as I know for Warhammer, sure there's a GT happening next weekend. There's
Yeah.
always seems to be
I
something.
mean, give it 2 or 3 weeks and Pokemon kicks off their new kind of
Yeah, Worlds
yeah.
is soon. Worlds is this weekend. I
Yeah.
think
Yeah,
Worlds
Worlds
is
is
this
this
weekend.
weekend.
Yeah,
Yep.
because we've
Yep.
got the League Cup
League
challenge
Cup
thing.
League Challenge, and I've got Pokemon promos to give out of it.
Yeah,
We'll
that's
stream
fun.
Worlds at the same time.
Hmm.
Yes, that's kind of what's going on in the world of games. And next week we can totally talk about Pokemon Worlds.
Yeah, I was going to talk about Pokemon Worlds. It'll be
That'll be
fun
great.
because
Yeah.
I think Pokemon Worlds is this weekend, and then next weekend or weekend after next is the Spotlight Series in Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
So
should be fun.
really, yeah, getting into
Get
a
some
lot more.
formats in.
Yeah.
Actually, be able to talk about Pokemon would be nice, not just like best of one, online
Yeah.
formats.
No, I agree. Yeah.
Because they're cool and
Yeah.
all, but
Give
best
it a
of
couple
one.
weeks. Regionals are coming back.
Mm.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's it for us, and we'll be back with more gaming stuff next week.
Yeah, next week.